The BC government is taking steps to prevent what it calls disruptive protests at K-12 schools.
We need to make sure that our schools are safe for everybody. That includes the people who work in the school, the kids in the school, the parents dropping kids off.
Proposed legislation introduced Wednesday would give the BC cabinet the power to set up a so-called access zone around a school. When done, police would have the authority to arrest or ticket anyone restricting access to a school, disrupting educational activities, or attempting to intimidate another person within 20 meters of school grounds. BC's Attorney General says Labour action would not be prohibited by the bill.
We live in a society where the right to peaceful protest and freedom of speech are important parts of our democracy. However, if these activities affect the safety and security of our children, our staff, and our educators, it's not okay.
The Premier says since the start of the 2023-2024 school year, there have been at least 18 protests at BC schools, 10 of which were at elementary schools. In one case, protesters were banging on classroom windows. David Eby says most of the demonstrations have to do with sexual orientation and gender identity education being taught in schools.
As a kid going to school, especially when you're talking about an elementary school, trying to figure out what these grown-ups are doing, why they're yelling at you, why they're yelling at your parents or at teachers, concerning, frightening, alarming, makes school feel like a not safe place.
Eby says the legislation is modeled after similar legislation that restricted protests around hospitals following disruptive pandemic-related demonstrations. In Vancouver, Monica Gould, City News.